What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs. And we are here in Russell County, Seal, Alabama, here with the Athletic Director of the Russell County Warriors, Coach Larry Knox. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Richard. I appreciate you being here.
Now, we've done this before. You're in your fourth year. Just talk about your legacy. Like, what was your background before you took the job at Russell County? And that coaching background, is there a possibility that you want to get that itch to coach again? Just talk about your coaching background and some of the things that you accomplished before you came here to Russell County.
Well, prior to Russell County, I was head football coach at Central Freshman Academy, 9th grade. Did that for 7 years. Also did PCIS 7th grade for 2 years and director of baseball operations for Central Baseball. Then 3 years ago, made the transition to Russell County to be the athletic director. And as far as the coaching aspect, my first year was tough. I had to learn how to go watch games and not try to critique in the moment situations. That's not fair to the programs that I was watching. That's not really my job to critique in game moments. So, one day, do I want to get back in coaching? I really don't know. I mean, I'm enjoying what I do. I love being the athletic director here at Russell County. It has truly been a blessing for my family and myself to make this move. And I'm just excited about what we've done in 3 years.
Absolutely.
And look forward to the future going forward.
Yeah, a lot of big things happening at Russell County. We will get into the improvement of the athletic facilities later, but this is a great display that you had for us, and you got great ball caps. Just talk about like the branding of Russell County. See, it seems like the apparel, it just gets really nice. The students love wearing it, and it's really making. We know Russell County, basically from the colors, the logo, it makes this place unique. Just touch up a little bit about the branding on Russell County apparel.
Well, that's something we really pushed last school year, was the branding of all of our athletic teams. We signed a new deal with BSN and Nike. So all of our programs got a brand new jersey uniform last year for every sport. So we really made a push on the Nike logo for all our teams. And then our RC logo that you see here in front of us and here on my pullover. The goal is that when someone in the community, someone in the state sees the RC, interlocking RC, that they know that's Russell County. And it's important for us to be in unison, and it shows that we're supporting all sports. Nobody has their own individual touch. It's all this logo, so that moving forward, everybody knows that this is Russell County.
Well, this is a very special place. Of course, I've been a part of Russell County back in 2021. It starts with the educators at the top, starting with Dr. Brenda Coley, the superintendent of Russell County Schools. Your principal was Miss Tanya Keene, but she has moved on. And is there a principal in place? I know that Samantha Shoup was the assistant principal. Have they decided on who the next principal is going to be at Russell County?
Yes, Miss Keene retired. She reached her 25 years. Congrats to her.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Miss Keene.
That's a goal of just about every educator. So we did announce a new principal last night, Chris Daniel. He will be joining us from Auburn City Schools.
Okay.
And I'm not sure his start date. It was just announced last night, but I would imagine sometime in July he will be on campus and ready to go. As far as the leadership, Rich, I mean, it's Dr. Coley, our principals, our assistant principals, our directors, they're all bought in, and they're all doing what they can to make everything about Russell County better, not just athletics, not just academics. It's our clubs, it's our environment, it's everything. Everybody's bought in, and it's very evident over the last 3 to 4 years, the improvements that have been made in all of our facilities, our schools. I mean, every media center in our district has been upgraded. All the air conditions throughout the district has been upgraded. So it's not just a one-sided try to fix one. It's everybody's dialed in and making a better place for our student athletes to come and be a part of.
Well, Coach, I can't wait to get into the details of all the athletics. We're going to start with the fall. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about those fall sports, starting with football, as this is Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Program, live from Russell County, here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show, and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Vision 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
Welcome back to Sitting Down with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs, live from Russell County in Seal, Alabama. Coach, before we get into the fall sports, we are actually at the table where you've had a lot of historic signing days. 28 student athletes signed their letter of intent to play the next level in college at this table. Just talk about how important that was for the school to have those student athletes get the opportunity to play at the next level.
I mean, it's huge for us because it shows that, you know, we can give our student athletes an opportunity to play at the next level. You know, whether it's D1, D2, junior college, free college is free college.
Absolutely.
So we've worked really hard. Our coaches, they have great contacts in the coaching community. And, you know, for us to be able to put 28 student athletes in college to go for free just shows that this is a place you can come and be a part of and make good grades and have good character. And if you're good, they'll find you, no matter what school you're at. So we're over the top about that. And I'm talking all sports. We had band, we had softball, baseball, soccer, flag football, we had football, we had volleyball. So it wasn't just a one or two sport deal. We had basketball. You know, we really were able to help students across all of our athletic programs last year. And we've got several more students that will be juniors and seniors next year that already have offers in their sports. So it's just not stopping with the 1 year that we had last year. It's going to continue. And, you know, we're going to continue to work very hard to give our students a chance.
Yeah, there's no question about it. We're looking forward to the next signing periods that you have. As early signing day for football is going to be in December, and we're kind of curious to see where the next wave of Russell County athletics are going to go. Coach, we're going to go ahead and start with the fall sports, and we start with football because that's the table setter to get things going for athletics for this upcoming school year. The football team, we know the accolades, we know the history, led by their coach, Dylan Griggs. He's been the football coach there since 2021. Probably the greatest Russell County football season in a long time. They get to the second round of the playoffs. They're hosting a home playoff game. Talk about the success of Coach Dylan Griggs and his staff to get Russell County football to levels that they have not seen in over 30 years. And just talk about just the community rallying around the football team and just having some big time games and getting to host a playoff game here at Russell County as well.
You know, it was just excitement all around. You know, Coach Griggs and his staff, it's all about paying attention to details and understanding your personnel and making sure that special teams, offense, defense, your game plan is built upon, you know, the athletes that you have on the field. Man, it was just, it was special. You know, we lose a couple games. We lost one game early that we thought we should have got. And it was just great to see the kids fight back the next week and not let the loss the week before impact them. You know, it was just, the crowds grew every Friday night.
Mhm.
You know, so it just, every week it was tighter and tighter in the bleachers, to where by the end we had Russell County fans sitting on the visiting side.
Yeah.
You know, and to see that, to host a playoff game in a very long time, it wasn't just a Russell County High School event that night. It was a community event. We have a lot of folks that support our athletic programs that, you know, they haven't been in school in 30, 40 years. I mean, you guys have witnessed our homecoming tailgate night. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know of any other high school event that is better than that. We're in June and people are already calling, wanting to know if they can sign up for our homecoming night.
Yeah.
Because that's the excitement that last year's football brought. People want to go ahead and make sure that they have their spot for that night. So, you know, it's with Coach Griggs' staff, you got a mixture of coaches that have won state titles. You got a mixture of coaches that played here at Russell County.
And played in the NFL too.
Right. Playing on the college level, the NFL level. We've got coaches that won state titles as players. So, you know, Coach Griggs has surrounded our football team with a wealth of knowledge and experience as far as winning that title. You know, it can be easy getting to the playoffs, but the next 5 weeks, that's the gauntlet. You know, are you well? Are you healthy? Can you play 5 more games? And I thought when we played round 2 of the playoffs in Birmingham, you know, we fumbled the opening kickoff. They score. We had 2 touchdowns called back, and we lose by less than 2 touchdowns. So I felt like we gave them the momentum.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, you know, Coach Griggs and I talked that week about, would the moment be too big for our players because they've never been in it. And I think for half of the first quarter, it was. But now once we dug in and dialed in, you know, it was a whole different football game. We had just made the hole too deep to recover. So I was very proud as an athletic director to see the fight that those kids had, because it would have been easy to lay down in that first quarter, and they didn't. They made it a game, and you know, they gave this year's team something to build on. And this year in the playoffs, we shouldn't have a moment that's too big for us because we've been there.
Right.
You know, I mean, when you're playing a team that's in the playoffs every year, you know, it's different, you know. So now we will have that experience. And so we should, you know, we're looking forward to the playoffs this year, and you know, the goal is to go past the second round.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed about last year, I mean, the team was fantastic. It wasn't just the quarterback, Bryce Riggins, who's considered one of the best quarterbacks in the state of Alabama. He's coming back for his senior year. He was only a junior last year. You think with Bryson Riggins, with another year under his belt, look out. That offense is going to be great. I was very impressed with Devin Brown, the senior running back who was patient. He was a backup to Drew Pickett. He was a backup to Kelston Tarver. When Drew Pickett left for graduation, when Kelston Tarver transferred, Devin Brown stood in, and he was the featured back for Russell County. I thought that was very important. Denver Harper, a very good slot receiver. That offense was humming. The defense played great. I think that when you have a team that is coached by Coach Dylan Griggs, they're going to play hard for him. And even though there were some lean years because of injuries, we knew that the talent was there, and it was going to translate to wins on the field. So just talk about how Coach Griggs, when he took over, because he wasn't your hire, he took over in 2021, and he was here. They went 6-4 in year one. Some of those were forfeit wins. But you saw like the growth. You saw that they're going to play hard for him. What did that mean to you to have a coach like Coach Griggs and to have the staff that he's built? Because he's lost a lot of assistants. You look at Justin Albert, who went on to go to Pell City. He was the coach at Smith Station and then to Prattville. We've had Kendall Lacey go to Valdosta. So he's lost assistants, but it seems like he's just plugged and played other assistants, and they haven't skipped a beat.
Well, and that's the beauty of Coach Griggs, what he's done for our football program. 4 years ago, we were, hey, need you to come to Russell County, and coach with us. We don't have to do that anymore. If somebody leaves, our phones are ringing.
Absolutely.
So he has done a great job. I mean, there's no secret. When Coach Griggs took over the football program, it was not very good. It was in the ditch. And he has, in a 4-year span, he has put Russell County football on the map. Just to give you an example of where everybody thought Russell County football was, last year, 3 of the away games we played, we were homecoming. And 3 teams got disappointed on homecoming night. So he and I were talking the other day, and I said, Coach, how many homecomings do you think we are this year? He said, well, that hadn't been put out, but I wouldn't think we would be 3. And I agree with him. I mean, he's just been consistent. He's just been patient. He's been just attention to detail that, while Drew Pickett, Kelston Tarver, they're the main guys, but we got Devin Brown in the background, and they're working with him every day, working with him so that when it's his turn, he just steps in. And he's ready. I mean, Devin Brown, as the game went on, got bigger and bigger and stronger, and almost like he got faster. Denver Harper he's tough to replace. He was a game changer. Been around football a long time, and I haven't seen anyone that dynamic that could change a game in one play as him. But coming back this year, we've got 3 wide receivers that all have D1 offers. So, and people don't know about those kids, but they've been in the background working. 2 of them played a lot last year, but the third one's just a sophomore. We go to a 7-on-7 at Jacksonville State a week or so ago, and he grabs an offer out of Jacksonville State based on his performance that day. So, while we lost key players, our Coach Griggs and the whole coaching staff has done a great job on making sure that we have replacements. And may not be, I don't know that Denver Harper, I don't know that you're just going to walk out and find, hey, you're going to replace him. You just have to, got to find somebody who can get us close. And then mixed in with the others, all them combined is better than what we had last year. And I think that's what they're working on. They got the whole summer, got August. We play our first 2 games on the road, which is going to be tough. Back-to-back road games, opening out. But that's good for us, because if we get to the playoffs and, first 2 rounds are on the road, then we're used to playing back-to-back road nights. So everything that Coach Griggs is doing, he has a plan, and he's making sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. So I'm very proud of where our football program is, and I'm just I don't want to rush the season because we still have work to do, but I'm excited about seeing the season.
All right, Coach, moving on from football to volleyball, which they're practicing because the season's going to be here right when school starts. That's the funny thing about volleyball is you'll see the volleyball matches before the first football game. Just talk about who the volleyball coach is, how they did last year. I think they made the playoffs last year, but they're in a region with some tough opponents like Pike Road and Park Crossing. But just talk a little bit about the volleyball coach and what are the expectations for this upcoming season.
Well, last year's team was coached by Alana Spees. That was her third year. She came in when I came in. She resigned. She still works for us here. With her leaving, we brought in Sarah Kleinsmith. She teaches in our school district, played volleyball. Her family runs a volleyball training facility in South Alabama. So she's got great volleyball knowledge. And that's what I was talking about earlier with football is, one coach leaves and we've got somebody of quality to fill. We're no longer, hey, we just need somebody. We're past that in all of our sports. So I'm excited to see them this year. They've been working since the first week of June, 3 days a week. They're in here every morning from 8 a.m. to 10:30. And so I walked in the other day and just to watch, and everybody was doing something. Nobody was standing around. So as an athletic director, that tells me that, she has a plan. She understands what she's doing, what she needs to get to game one. She's very excited about the players that she has coming back. So, I look for our volleyball team to surpass our win total of last year, and, possibly place in the top 2 in the area tournament.
All right, moving from volleyball to cross country. It seems like this campus is so big that the cross country coach could probably map out a cross country route for practice, and you won't have to leave the campus because you got trails back there behind the football field. Just talk about the cross country coach, and what is the season looking like of the invitationals, where they will have their invitationals in Alabama, because I know that that's got to be exciting, especially for the cross country runners this upcoming season.
Yeah, so each year we do a cross country meet in Phoenix City, Auburn, Smiths, Enterprise, and coming to Seal, Alabama this year is our very first
Nice
cross country meet. We mapped out a course about a month and a half ago, and the county commission is going to come in and help us get it ready for the meet. And so for the first time in Russell County history, we're going to host our own cross-country meet. Our cross-country program is growing. We took 8 boys to the state last year and 4 girls. So that was the highest number we've taken since I've been here. And Coach Moats is our cross-country coach. And there's plenty of places to run. There's no shortage.
Absolutely.
He can point them that way toward the stadium or this way toward the baseball complex, over toward the middle school. So we don't have an issue with where we're going to run. And that's a sport that, it's an individual deal.
Yeah.
It's what you put in it is what you're going to get out of it. And our kids do a great job of working in the summer. He has the Stratus app, I believe is what it's called. So he can see them, all the running they're doing every week. They meet up here a couple days a week, and he charts their course and makes them run. So he's doing a great job, and our cross country program has grown every year for the last 3 years.
Yeah, and the good thing about having a cross country team and the weather that we're having right now with the heat index, they could all decide, hey, cross country practice is going to go be in the gym. Let's just go get on the treadmill.
Yep.
It's really one of those sports that can tailor around, that you don't have to run outside every time. But I think that's great. Now let's talk flag football. This is a sport that's in the fall, but it's done a little bit later in the fall because that gives volleyball players an opportunity to play multiple sports. I know that they played there at Mitchell Corbett Stadium, right where the football field is. Just talk about who the flag football coach is and what the team looks like this season, because I know that when you think of flag football in the state of Alabama, I know that Russell County is trying to get their name out there, with the likes of Smith Station and Central. But just talk about what the season's looking like and who the coach is.
Well, this year our coach will be Coach Thomas and Coach Daniels. Last year our flag football team won the most in school history at 9 games. They only play 18, 19 games. So we won 9, and there's 3 games that we lost by under 5 points. Had we won any one of those 3, we would have owned the tiebreaker over that school, and we would have made the playoffs. I did get a phone call from another school bragging about our flag football team,
Right.
and thought that they, the most improved team they've seen in the state of Alabama. So that was good to hear. And, our flag football program has been working this summer. They went to Troy, Alabama, to play in a 7-on-7 there at Troy University that they hosted, and we won 2 out of 3 games. So I mean, it's growing. You know, the thing about flag football is you know, your female student athletes is not as great a number as your male student athletes.
Right.
So you have to find a balance between them wanting to play volleyball, flag football, basketball, because all of that is like fall, winter, and they
And
overlap.
possibly softball. They could play 4 sports if they.
Well, and that's softball is good because it's spring, but it's the balance of the winter,
Right.
starting winter sports, fall and winter. So it's just a balance, and we're trying to figure out amongst the 3 different teams, you know, how can we allow someone to play multiple of those 3 without impacting the team.
Right.
So I'm excited about what they're going to do this year. You know, it's classified in the state of Alabama 1 through 5A as one division, and 6A and 7A is a second division. So, you know, we play with schools all the way through Montgomery, Dothan, Valley. So, and then all around the East Alabama, all those schools. So, you know, it's just, you know, finding the right balance so that we can help all 3 teams. But I think we're doing a great job of that, and I'm excited to see our flag football program this year.
And our final fall sport is cheerleading. There's actually 2 forms of cheerleading. There's competition, and there is sideline cheer. They're the ones that just really get the crowd going on those Friday night lights of the football, and then also in the gym for the basketball team as well. Talk about who the cheerleading coach is, and when you talk about the competition cheer and the sideline cheer, if it's 2 different sports, or do the cheerleaders do the same? And just to elaborate a little bit on that as well.
So our cheerleading coach is Coach Valerie. She was in that position before I got here, so I'm going to say she's been doing it 5 years, I think. For us, it's one unit. So if you're
Right.
on our cheerleading team, then you do sideline and competition. Now, she did allow a few girls this year that only wanted to do sideline or only wanted to do basketball.
Right.
For the first time, we've allowed that, just because it gives those students a chance to be a part of something. Not everybody wants to be part of the competition, but we set them up at Oliver Elementary School, which is down the road from us, in their gym this summer. So they've got all their mats out. They're down there this week. They're in a UCA camp. We brought in the UCA instructors to us this year. So they're down there this whole week having a camp with dedicated UCA instructors. So our numbers are around the 20 mark. And you know, it's just that number is growing every year, and the interest is getting bigger and bigger. But they're a huge part in our Friday nights, keeping the crowd going, basketball, you know, supporting our team, and you know, again, energizing the crowd, you know, and along, you know, they bring so much spirit, and it's funny hearing them talk about the game. Some of them sometimes, you know, they get caught up watching instead of cheering. They're like, but we want to see the running back score a touchdown. I just listen, take a peek. But they do a great job, and we're proud of them. You know, and I'll tell you, also another group that I want to throw in for the fall is our band. We hired a new band director last year, Mr. Madden. And Mr. Madden, back when he was in college, he was the drum major for the University of Alabama.
Oh, nice.
So that's no small feat there. I mean, it's a huge accomplishment for him. And when he arrived, we were in the 70s in numbers. We finished a year right at 100 band students, and he's projecting to have around 120 band students for the upcoming year. which caused us to have to go out and buy new band uniforms.
Yeah.
Our band uniforms, Dr. Coley and the school board bought them Dr. Coley's first year as a superintendent, so that was 10 years ago. And they just don't make that design anymore. So it forced us to have to go and buy brand new uniforms. And we're going to do a reveal coming soon.
Nice.
They're pretty sharp now. I was sticker shocked when I saw what a band uniform costs in comparison to a football jersey or basketball jersey or softball, baseball uniform. But the beauty is it lasts 10 years.
Okay.
I mean, the ones we have, they look good. We just can't get that one anymore. So it forced us to have, because we've grown so much, we had to buy new for this year. So our band, I mean, if you come on Friday nights and listen to them, they play from the opening kickoff till it's over.
Yeah.
They really,
I've noticed that.
they're up there having a great time, and they're supporting the football team. They've got the crowd in it. I got just as many compliments about our cheer program and band program last fall as I did our football team, and the excitement. But you know, winning changes a lot.
Absolutely.
So with the football team winning, you know, everybody else is a little more excited about what they're doing. So it's great to see. I mean, it's a beautiful sight on our Friday nights. We may not be as big number-wise as some of the schools in Alabama, but we bring a fun night for everybody to come enjoy.
It's absolutely an incredible atmosphere. If you've not been to a Russell County game on a Friday night, just the band, the cheer, and the team, it really is just a great mix, and it just provides for a great atmosphere. There is one more sport that we did talk off air about that is a club sport, and I can't forget this because I want to give a shout out to my guy, Terrell Bennett, who actually reached out to me a couple of years ago, is bass fishing.
Yep.
It's a club sport. Terrell Bennett is the coach of bass fishing. Just talk about could this possibly become a sport in the AHSAA that you might be able to have competitions?
Well, they don't have that for Alabama high school as of right now. I really don't know it, and I don't think so because it's not a sanctioned sport on the college level. So since it's not on the college level, it is a club sport on the college level, even though it's huge.
Yes.
But it's still a club sport. So they go all over the state of Alabama.
Like Lake Eufaula?
Lake Gunnersville.
West Point?
I mean, yes, they go all over several weekends in the fall. And then again, they have a spring season, several weekends in the spring. What you got to realize, I mean, Coach Bennett, I mean, he don't have a kid here. He's doing that because he wants to give students an opportunity to do something that they may not get an opportunity to do, and get a love for fishing and you know, something that'll last them a whole lifetime. So I'm proud of that group, and I'm very thankful for Coach Bennett and the time he puts in, because not many people would do that, what he does. But he enjoys it now. If you want to talk fishing, hope you got an hour or two. So
Absolutely.
It's going to take a while.
He actually invited me to come out fishing with him, man. I got to take him up on that offer. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the winter sports as you're watching Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs, live from Russell County on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
The clock is ticking on the spectacular pre-owned truck sale now in progress at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Chevy, Ford, GMC, and Dodge trucks and Toyota trucks too. Full size and heavy duty, smaller trucks, work trucks. Prices to payments on all pre-owned trucks have been slashed. This is your chance to get a clean late model used truck at the price you want. And during the sale, special finance rates are now in effect. This sale may end at any time. One location only, Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama.
Welcome back to Sitting Down with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs, live from Seal, Alabama, Russell County. Very special place to me, as this place is just so incredible. It's one of those atmospheres where it's kind of got a small town setting, but it's not too far away from the city, where just the whole town will come and watch a football game, and you see it on Friday nights. But we're going to go ahead and transition from fall sports to winter sports, Coach, and we're going to start with girls basketball, led by the former middle school coach, Ricky Jones. They were on the doorsteps of making the playoffs last year, 12 games. They just continue improving, but they have one of the best players, in my opinion, in the Chattahoochee Valley, Mackenzie Word, who's only going to be a junior, which that's incredible. But talk about the job that Coach Jones has done building up the program and making Russell County girls basketball a playoff contender.
Well, Coach Jones is a focus of one of my goals over the last 3 years when we're looking for coaches. You know, we've been trying to bring in folks that graduated from Russell County High School,
Right.
that played at Russell County High School, because back when they were here, our facilities didn't look nowhere like they look today. So it means more to Coach Jones to come in and make the program better because he was part of the Russell County program when he was in high school. And he's been our head coach for 2 years. And in 2 years, I mean, it has just been night and day. You talk about taking a program that was down, like our football program, just not going anywhere, spinning its wheels. And Coach Jones comes in, and last year they win 12 games and missed the playoffs, going to the sub-regionals by 1 game.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, and let me say he did all that with sophomores, 9th graders, and 8th graders.
And they lost to Park Crossing, who eventually won the state title, right?
Yes, and only you know, like with 1 senior. So what he's done with the team that he's had in the age, the grade level, it has been phenomenal. You mentioned Mackenzie Word. She's very special. She is, you know, one of our leaders in the program. And we've got some students that are behind her, sophomores and 9th graders. You know, we had 2 8th graders start last year.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And they're going to be freshmen this year. So they have played this summer. A team that beat them last summer by 30-plus points. We played them in Jacksonville State, and we beat them by 32.
Incredible.
So I know they graduated some, but you didn't graduate, you know, a 60-point swing. So our girls basketball program is definitely headed in the right direction. And Coach Jones and his staff is, man, the passion that he has when he coaches. He demands the best out of them girls at all times, and he can redirect one of his players and do it in a manner that you didn't even know he redirected them. I mean, it's not a boisterous, it's not a loud, it's not a draw attention to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he has his own way of getting their attention and getting them refocused without everybody looking at him. You know, the first thing he'll tell you is not about him. It's about the girls. But with every program, it takes someone running the team to make it better. You know, good athletes, yes, but you still got to have somebody that is, you know, driving the train and making sure it's going down the right tracks. So we're proud of that, and I mean, I'm thinking sub-regionals this year.
Yeah.
I mean, if we do, I mean, that'll be one of the greatest turnarounds in high school basketball girls history. And, you know, not trying to put pressure on the girls, but, you know, I want them to expect to be in the sub-regionals. I want them to expect to be in the regionals. And I know that Coach Jones and his staff does as well. So we just got to start talking it. We got to start making them believe that they belong. And again, it's like our football program. And you know, is in the past, the moment might have been too big for us.
Right.
But going into this year, that group's got 3 years, 2 years of playing together. This is year 3. There is no in the moment too big for us, because we've been together and now we know what everybody can do within our core. And, you know, it's just a matter of executing. and it's going to be exciting to watch this year.
And remember, they were on the doorstep of the playoffs last year with the defending champion Park Crossing,
Yeah.
Pike Road, and Rehoboth, a very tough area. And we're excited that they could compete to try to get into the playoffs this year.
Right.
Well, Coach, let's go ahead and talk boys basketball, led by the former Auburn point guard and former Russell County player, Coach Ronnie Battle, who's been with the program for a while. I've gotten to know Coach Battle for a couple of years now. Now, the thing about a coached Battle team is those boys are going to play hard for him. We're constantly seeing them in fall leagues and summer camps, and he's got a lot of talent. And the last 2 seasons, making the playoffs, and the sky's the limit for a Russell County basketball team that we've seen them win big games over the years. I remember when they stormed the court in 2021 when they beat Central. Almost beat Central 2 years ago, and one of the most popular games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live in overtime. Should have won that game. But just talk about what Coach Battle has done as far as building a culture and that atmosphere in the gymnasium when the basketball teams are playing, because they are high flying and the fans are just excited just because Russell County basketball is an exciting brand of basketball.
Yeah, I mean, you look at 2 years ago, they make the regionals for the first time in 5, 6, 7 years. And then this year we make the sub-regionals and we lose on a buzzer beater. Kid let it go with 3 seconds to go. And, it went in, we lose. So 2 years in a row, we're right there for the regionals. And, I mean, Coach Battle gets so much out of those kids. Every year he tells me, Coach, I don't know about next year. I said, well, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm expecting a little more this year. And Coach, I don't know. I'm like, Coach Battle, I've seen you. I know what you can do. So you just keep working hard, have them work hard. And I mean, they have played just about every day in their summer play date time that they could play. He really takes advantage of that, playing in the Columbus League, going to the Auburn 2-day team camp, and he never shies away from a tough opponent in the summer. I mean, he wants to play the best of the best, see where they're at. His coaching staff does a great job. You walk in the gym, they're all spread out. Everybody's looking at something. It's fun to watch. Our basketball nights are electrifying, from the girls' game to the boys' game. The last row of the lighting above the bleachers, they dim the light, so it's almost like the Hoosiers movie.
There you go.
And my first night here at a basketball game, the lights go dim, and I'm like, what the world? I'm thinking security, safety, and they're thinking environment.
Right.
So I had to adjust because I'm like, no, we can't do that. But then in talking to some folks, it's something that they've always done, not wanting to rock the boat of what they're doing. I enjoy it now. I mean, I look forward to when we dim the lights. And it's even better now that we did away with the skylights in the gym. So it's exciting to watch our basketball fast paced now.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and look down at your phone because you've missed 3 trips up and down the floor.
Yeah, they'll go up and down the floor.
So it's good to see. And I tell you, former head coach of mine used to always tell us, you just need one athletic team to get into playoffs and win for everybody else to want to start fighting to get that position.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 years ago, boys basketball, they win the sub-region, and advance to the regionals. Well, then last school year, football makes playoffs, hosts playoffs, makes second round of playoffs. So it's just a domino effect, and then I know we're going to talk about spring in a little bit, but we get into spring and both boys soccer and girls soccer makes playoffs.
Yes.
So it just took one team of getting over the hump of putting Russell County out there for everybody else to go, I want to be a part of that. So I expect it to be even more teams this year that make the playoffs, because I'm telling you, is our summer workouts have been some of the best I've seen in my 3 years. The numbers, in the past we struggled to get kids here. Now that we're competing, now that we're winning, I don't hear coaches talk about, well, I can't get my players here.
Yeah.
They're showing up because they want to keep the winning going, or they want to join the winning that the other programs are having. So it's exciting what our basketball program is doing, boys and girls. We've got 2 great coaches leading the way. And, you mentioned Coach Battle. He plays at Auburn University, still holds the 3-point percentage shooting, I believe it's percentage shooting record, played overseas. He graduated from Russell County.
Yeah.
So another coach that's a product of Russell County. So it's just finding the right balance of coaches and mixing in folks that graduated from here that's helping turn this program around and getting it headed in the right direction.
Absolutely. And the final winter sport, wrestling, coached by a good friend of mine, Coach Eric Chamberlain, always approachable. Every time I come to a Russell County football game, he's always the first person to greet me, and he's really passionate about wrestling. And they've had some top wrestlers. I know Cole Trammell comes to mind because I know his parents. Talk about the wrestling team led by Coach Chamberlain and what they have accomplished this past year and what they're looking forward to this upcoming season.
Coach Chamberlain is probably the most passionate coach for his sport that I have, not knocking anybody else. But when he's done with a wrestling meet, his voice is gone. I mean, it's from start to finish. It's coaching. And he's military background, so some people's like, all he does is yell at them kids. I'm like, well, listen to what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's not yelling bad things to them. He's instructing. He's trying to get them in position to win their match. And he's not yelling at them when the match is over. If your voice is not loud with everybody screaming from the bleachers, your kid's not going to hear you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's very knowledgeable about the sport. He brings a lot of organization to the sport. They'll pick up any spot of the campus and just start practicing. He's not one that I got to have this, and this. He just figures it out. 2 years ago, he come to me. He said, "Hey, I lost my practice spot from last year." And I'm like, "Coach, what about the home football locker room? We only use it when we play football games at home."
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you serious?" I went, "Yeah." So now this past year, he couldn't get in there as quick because our season got extended by 2 weeks. But it gave him a home, so they just leave their mats out, and it saved them about an hour in practice time.
Yeah.
They don't have to roll mats out, roll mats up, store. So we've added some assistant coaches for him this year that have wrestling knowledge. So that's going to take a little load off of him and allow the program to grow even more. We have a girls wrestling program this year that will be led by Coach Watson. He's former college wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Terry Long is joining us as an assistant coach. He was Chatco's wrestling coach. So we're now able to get people in that program that have the knowledge to make our kids better.
Right.
So I really look forward to their growth this year and the next 2 or 3 years. Our middle school program in that sport is absolutely huge. So we're not going to run out of kids that want to wrestle anytime soon. So last year we missed the state by the last match of the day. It's between us and another school. Whichever kid won, that team went to the state. And their kid won on points by like 2 points, I believe. So we were there. We just, that other team won, we didn't.
Yeah.
So So we're excited about the direction of that program and what Coach Chamberlain is doing.
Oh, absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk spring sports as you're watching Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs, right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Georgia, Alabama. Sports Live this summer is bringing back Sitting with an Athletics Director, the state of the programs. This segment has us talking with all the high school athletics directors that we cover on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. It's a perfect way to promote all the sports programs their schools have to offer and let people see all the amazing work they do for our community. Check out Georgia, Alabama Sports Live on YouTube and Facebook to see the latest episodes drop this summer.
Welcome back to Sitting Down with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs, live from Russell County High School here with Coach A.D. Knox. I know that you've been a coach before, but you're the athletic director, Coach Knox. And Coach, let's talk spring sports. Obviously, Russell County is known for baseball. They have that state championship from 2005. They've had players in the major leagues, including the Rasmus brothers. But your coach is led by Danny Danielson, who was a former pitcher, played in the Dodgers organization. This is his second year. Just talk about Coach Danielson, his vision for trying to get Russell County baseball back to that level that they are used to seeing. And just talk about what they did last year and what are the expectations as they just had a baseball camp or recently. I know because we're friends with obviously one of his assistants, huge colleague of ours on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Coach Michael Long Jr. I could not go a segment without shouting out the assistant coach, Michael Long Jr., because he's a broadcasting colleague as well. But just talk about Coach Danielson and what he's built at Russell County.
Coach Danielson, he's another product of Russell County.
Right.
He was on the team in 2005. He was a freshman. Coach Danielson just brings a wealth of knowledge, and not only just knowledge of baseball, but knowledge of the community. He is very well known in this community, and it has really helped our baseball program grow. Last year we missed the playoffs by one game. And it was a game that we were ahead. We just had two untimely errors that were misfortunate and allowed the other team to win. So we were there. I'm proud of the growth. Coach Danielson and I, he has built his staff with knowledge, like you mentioned, Michael Long, a former head coach at Carver. Hunter Dawkins came to us. He's previous stops Central and Glenwood. Zach Elias, he played scholarship at Lane College in Tennessee, scholarship at Xavier University. He was a GA for Xavier. You've got Wade Chandler, who former CVCC baseball assistant. Michael Cox, who's been involved in the community travel ball. Clay Weatherly, who played on the collegiate level. So it's just a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and that has really helped our baseball program grow because now he can take those coaches and assign them different areas. Somebody's in charge of the outfield, somebody's infield, somebody's got catching, somebody's got pitching. So it's a beauty to watch them practice, how they all split up and do different things at one time instead of everybody just standing around like the old days, one person pitching and everybody shagging. Scheduling wise, he's scheduled one of the toughest schedules in the state. And that'll make us better. It'll also show us where we're at. The thing about baseball, you play 28 games and only 6 count as far as making the playoffs.
Exactly, because the area there's only
for
only
us
4 teams.
Park Crossing, Park Road, and Rehoboth. So I can sit here and name teams that were 22-2 going into area play years ago and didn't make the playoffs because they didn't win the area games. And it's unfortunate that all of our sports have come to that. You play 28, 30 games, and only 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 matter as far as making the playoffs. But that's the world we live in, so we just have to accept it and be ready for it. And they do a great job in that. You mentioned the camp. I mean, we had right at 50 kids
Nice.
in the camp. So that tells you that the community is interested in Russell County baseball. You know, we've had a couple folks move into our district in the past few weeks. So, I mean, it's our program is where people are looking at it. People are keeping up with it. They're not just, hey, let's go play Russell County because it's an easy win. It's where it needs to be. We're competitive. And Coach Danielson does a great job as well as his staff.
All right, let's talk softball. Unlike Georgia, the teams in Alabama play softball in the spring.
We do.
Talk about it. By the way, if you haven't seen the facilities to the left of the school, the softball field and the baseball field, right there, its own little sports complex where concessions are. It's really a great atmosphere. And really, if you got a softball game and a baseball game going on at the same time, why not see both? I mean, it's just a great opportunity. But who's the softball coach, and what are the expectations for this upcoming season? And recap a little bit of last season.
So just last night at the board meeting, the board approved Allison Silva to be our new head softball coach. She comes to us with 9 years head coaching experience at Southern Union and 3 years assistant from Bethel University out of Tennessee. So she's got 12 years collegiate experience. She will start in late July. Last year, our program won 9 games, which was the most it's won in a long time. And again, missed the playoffs by 1 game. The team we lost to, it was tied 4-4 going into the 5th inning, I believe. And we had 2 errors. I mean, just you and I may have thought they were routine, but we were not out there on the field. So it may have looked different from the other side of the fence, and we didn't make the plays. And next thing you know, we get beat. But the beauty is our kids were there. And defensively, our team is really, really good. You know, with softball, if you don't have a dominant pitcher, then some games are a struggle. So that's one area that the new coach will be looking to improve on. We do have both of our pitchers coming back next year. One was a 7th grader, one was a sophomore. They're both coming back, so they've got that whole year of experience. And so I'm just looking forward to what the new coach brings to Russell County softball.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to both the girls and boys soccer, because they both made the playoffs, and that's great. Especially, you know, soccer is just growing around this area with our professional the club teams and the outdoor teams, and also we've got a club team that plays here at Russell County. But just talk about who the soccer coaches are, starting with the girls and then the boys soccer coach.
So our girls soccer coach is Coach Cardwell. Coach Cardwell, he runs our soccer program. He's over the whole program, but he is our girls head coach. Our boys head coach is Sylvester Ampong, and you know they both made the playoffs last year. Our girls made the playoffs my first year that I got hired in 22.
I remember that because that was when they lost to St. Paul's.
Right.
Yeah. Down in the second round.
There was a Mobile team that got disqualified.
St. Paul's Episcopal.
It put us in. We didn't care. We were in.
Yeah.
But this year was extra nice because we earned it.
Absolutely.
We qualified ourselves. So our boys team has never made the playoffs. So it goes back to that. We had 2 teams make the playoffs, so other teams are wanting to be a part of that. So you know, for the first time in school history, our boys make the playoffs. Our girls are in it again. And you know, a lot of that is contributed to 3 years ago, Coach Cardwell was like, we need a middle school team.
Mm-hmm.
We need them learning on the 7th and 8th grade level, already having knowledge when they get to us on the 9th grade level. So this was the 3rd season for middle school soccer. They won 5 games this year after the previous 2 years not winning a game. So because of our school board and Dr. Coley's commitment into starting a middle school program, it has really benefited our varsity kids and just closing the gap of knowledge. When you get to where you're playing other teams and they've been playing forever, it closes that gap for us. So all of our coaches do a great job in our soccer program. Coach Sheldon Hickman runs our middle school program.
Okay.
Congratulations, Sheldon. He got married last weekend.
Awesome.
So it just it's good to see. It's good to go watch games in the spring and know that they're meaningful. They mean something. That you're not just there biding time and it's good to go support our programs and knowing that, hey, we've got a shot at something here.
Yeah.
And, just we all want to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, track and field. Coach Moats, he decided I'm coaching cross country, might as well coach track as well. So he is the coach of the track and field team, which we've witnessed the track being put around the football field. And that is huge, especially because now the Russell County can host track events. So just talk about like possible future track events that they could host here, and what does that mean to have that track around the football field to give the track team really a place to do their runs?
Well, what it meant for this past season is we held our first ever track meet.
There you go.
We had a middle school track meet, and I've never thought that many people come and watch a track meet. I mean, people just kept coming in and coming in. I mean, we sold over 500 tickets.
Wow.
I asked Coach Moats, I said, Coach, what you want to charge for this event? He said, everybody else charges 10. Let's just charge 5 because it's our first one. That way, if we mess up, they'll be less, hopefully they'll forgive us. I mean, it was awesome. I asked some of the coaches from other schools what they thought, if they could just email me the next week. Gave them a card and said, hey, would you email me next week? Won't hurt my feelings. What you like, what you didn't like, what we can do to get better. And 2 of the coaches were like, Coach, I wouldn't change nothing. This was one of the best run track meets we've been to. And that's on Coach Moats and his coaching staff.
Yeah.
And the beauty was all the varsity kids that stayed and helped because they wanted to be a part of it. I mean, that was history for Russell County. First ever track meet. And this coming school year, we're going to host a middle school again on a school night. And then on a Saturday, we're going to host a high school event. And it just goes to, we need to give our students in all sports an opportunity for their family, parents, friends, fellow students to come and watch them compete at the sport that they're participating in, instead of always being on the road.
Right.
And it's tough for people to get there. So, I mean, that's the goal, and why we're hosting a cross-country meet next year, why we're hosting the 2 track meets, is to give everybody an opportunity for their friends and family to come and watch them compete. So we took, we took 9 boys to the state this year. We took 3 girls, the most we've taken in school history. And it's unfortunate. We thought we would have more qualify, but we're in the sectionals in the Birmingham area, so only the top 5 go. If we were in the Mobile area, we would have had 20 plus kids because our times were better than all but one school in Mobile. But because we were in the Birmingham area, you know, we were sixth and most of the events. So we were there. You know, so I'm looking forward to this coming track season. You know, we've got 8th graders, 9th graders that are breaking school records. We had a whole lot of school records broken this past school year. Coach Moats does a great job of keeping up with that. Every Monday, he sends out a Google Doc with all the records and PRs, and so it's really fun to see and brag on the kids when they do well. Our track program is really moving in the right direction. Coach Moats has been our coach at that for a while, and the beauty of the coaching staff, they've been with him for several years now. So they all understand what needs to be done, and you know, he's not having to remind people every day, hey, you do this, you do that. You know, they know what's expected and what they need to do.
Finally, esports. Who is the coach of esports, and what are some of the obstacles? I know we talked about this off air, that could be some challenges when it comes to esports.
Well, the thing about esports is Coach Jones, he works in our IT department. He is going to be our esports coach this year. You know, is the Wi-Fi. You know, you can, Alabama High School will let you play from home. But if that happens and your Wi-Fi messes up at your house, then, you know, you just lost. There's no redo or reschedule. It's, you know, you forfeit the game. So the biggest thing we've had to do is convince the parents, hey, let them stay at school and play, and then, you know, come get them after that. If you want to come and watch here, you can, but just let them be on school property when they perform. We've gone out for this coming school year and we've bought some PlayStations for them to use versus trying to play on a computer with a gaming mouse. So that should help our students. They all requested that. So we've bought several of those. And the beauty of our coach being in the IT department, he can make all the connectivity work for us. So, you know, esports is growing. Not a lot of people know about it, but, you know, there's scholarships for that. And they play esports in the fall and the spring. Now, the state controls what games. Naturally, the kids won't, like Call of Duty and things of that nature. But so far, the state hadn't allowed any games with guns and things of that nature. And but, you know, all the Madden, the NBA 2K and things of that nature, and a lot of other games that I'm not a gamer.
MLB The Show?
Nope, that's not out there yet.
Wow, I thought maybe MLB The Show would be one of the games.
It's not out there yet. Might be because it takes too long.
And I think it's hard to hit a baseball in a baseball video game, because I know playing baseball video games, it is so impossible to hit a baseball.
So it's a growing sport, and it's sanctioned by Alabama High School this year. Shockingly, they had to get a physical to play esports. I mean, I was like, you're sitting in a chair on a. I was like, okay.
I totally get it.
It took us a minute to get those physicals because the parents were like, what? Yep, Alabama High School requires it, so we have to do it. So it's a growing sport, and you know, a lot of our kids are you know, starting to show interest in it, and so we'll see where it goes this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we're going to close out the show as you're watching Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs, live from Russell County, here with Coach Knox on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
It's a great day for a new Chevrolet from Glenn Smith and Opelika. Take to the road in a rugged new full-size Chevy Silverado with discounts up to $12,500 off MSRP. Or plug into the future with the innovative Chevy Blazer EV. Lease yours today for just $299 a month. That's right, just $299 a month. People from all over the USA are coming to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Welcome back to Sitting Down with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs, live from Russell County. And Coach, let's talk about facilities, because the last time we talked last year, you were talking about getting a practice facility. We noticed when we were pulling into the parking lot that they are building that facility. Talk about the progress and when could this expected to be finished, and what are some other projects around the school that you're working on that you would like to see happen in the near future?
Well, 3-4 years ago, our superintendent, Dr. Coley, and our school board made the effort to improve all of our game day facilities. We have the baseball, softball complex. This coming year will be only our 5th season in it. We've got the football stadium with turf, jumbotron, LED lights. This will be our 5th year rolling into that. Our high school gym was completely renovated. And so our speech over the last couple of years has been, we got to upgrade our practice facilities.
Right.
We have one gym for 5 basketball teams, volleyball, wrestling, cheer, dance. It's just not feasible. So Dr. Coley and the school board, we're building a 35,000 square foot athletic facility. And inside of that, so it will be a whole new football operations, new weight room, locker room, equipment room, coaches' offices for football.
Nice.
But the weight room will be shared by everybody. That gives us 2 weight rooms now. So now every athletic team we have will be able to have quality weightlifting. So we have a brand new training room that the Houston Clinic helped us design. So every program will have access to that through our athletic trainer. It's got a plunge pool. When I first heard about it, I'm like, a plunge pool, what's that? Well, it's how you do ice baths now. It'll hold 6 people at one time, temperature set at 45 minutes. You're in and out in 4 to 5 minutes. So we can cycle our kids through. And the beauty is every program can use it.
Right.
But the best feature of that plunge pool, it is within 3 minutes of everywhere we practice on this campus.
Nice.
Or play. So if somebody goes into sudden cardiac arrest, overheating, we can get them into that pool within the 10-minute threshold. And all the studies show that if you get their body temperature below 100 degrees within 10 minutes, 100% recovery rate.
Right.
So all of our coaches will have access to that. And the narrative is, we're not guessing. If you think it, go put them in. We'll apologize for getting them wet. Let's don't try to apologize for something bad happening.
Right.
So that's the beauty of the plunge pool. And then when you go to the bigger part of the building, it's a gym that's big enough for 2 teams to practice at one time.
Nice.
Going side to side. It's got meeting rooms in it. So let me back up to the gym. So now, fast forward, the building's up, and it's our athletic PE time. Our girls basketball can be in our current gym, and our 9th grade boys and JV boys can be in the new facility. And they can all practice 4th block, get on a bus, and go home. And now no parents have to come and pick them up.
That's awesome.
So now we can bring in our varsity boys after school, and they can have quality practice. Instead of 9th grade boys, JV boys, varsity boys, all trying to practice in an hour and a half in one building. So it just opens up the possibility. Currently, if our wrestling program has a home match, we can't even practice that day, because they have to start setting up the gym.
Right.
So the new building, it will be our volleyball game day practice facility. It will be our wrestling game day facility. And it will also be their practice facility because we're building a wrestling room dedicated to the wrestling team in this building. Also in the building is a cheerleading room. So now our cheerleaders will have their own space with all of their mats out, and they can practice. And people are like, how does that help them? To roll mats out, move cafeteria tables, and then roll the mats up, put the cafeteria tables back, that's an hour a day of getting all that. So you cut down on the length of their practice so that parents can now pick them up on their way home from work. That's the beauty of that, and it will really help them get ready for the regionals, for AHS, AA, the state. That building will benefit every athletic team we have. You may not have your sport in there, but the weight room you'll either lift weights in the new building or the current weight room. So it will impact every program that we have, and we're excited about it. Right now, our completion date is February 18th of 26. So, 8 months, 9 months.
Yeah, before you know it.
Yeah. So right now they've got the building, they've got like 96, 7% of the steel up. Now they're working on all the doors, for all the rooms and stuff of that nature. So it will forever change Russell County athletics, because as good a job as our teams have done in the last 3 years, now that we have adequate practice facilities when that building's open, you should see a better results in game day in all of our sports going forward.
Oh yeah, no question about it. And we can't wait for that finished product, and we are excited, Coach. And in the past, we have live streamed games on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, but we're going to take it a step further, and we are hoping to live stream even more games for Russell County, not just football, but also flag football, volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball. And we are privileged to announce that we have this partnership not only with Russell County Athletics, but with Sheriff Heath Taylor. Talk about what Sheriff Heath Taylor means to this Russell County community, as we are super excited to team up with Sheriff Heath Taylor and Russell County Athletics.
Well, Sheriff Taylor, he's one of our biggest supporters, not just in athletics, but everything we do. He makes sure that we have SROs in all of our schools, security at all of our games. He just, and it's not just a monetary for him. It's this is his county.
Mm-hmm.
This is where he lives, and he wants to see his county grow, and the students that are in his county, he wants to see them grow. And we're excited about the partnership with Georgia Alabama, because we have our television production class,
right,
but we can only reach so many people. Your platform is a whole lot bigger, so it allows us to get our student athletes even to a broader audience that we can't reach. And I'm excited about our students being able to help televise our games and work with y'all, running the cameras, the production board. I'm hoping that, y'all can help teach one or two how to be announcers, and, just really help take that class with Mr. Beasley to the whole next level. We just started that class, and it's already been a huge benefit for us. But partnering with Georgia Alabama is going to make it even bigger for us. And it's all about getting our kids noticed.
Absolutely.
One of our baseball players, his grandparents live out in Nebraska, so they all the time, Coach, how can we get, so this year, I found out we're videoing through Game Changer, and we had it set to where you had to buy a membership to be able to see it. And I just told Coach Danielson, just open it up for the public. Because I want our kids' families, no matter where they're at, to be able to see their kid play.
Right.
We're a big military population here. So some of our students, they may have mom or dad or or somebody, at a different base overseas. So for me, it just gives every kid's family an opportunity to watch their child play if they're not able to come see it in person. So I'm looking forward to it. I love when you guys are here. Our kids love it. They talk about it. You've been here for our homecoming game in football, and I mean, it's I'll say again, I don't know of any other school that has that environment for that one night. The Warrior Walk that we do through that,
It's incredible.
And the people love it. I mean, they start at 2:00 in the afternoon, waiting for us to come out there and our band and cheer and football team to walk through. I mean, it's. I didn't know what to expect my first year.
Yeah.
People said it was big, but I didn't realize it was that big. And here's the beauty: when they leave, you don't even know they were there. Yeah. They put everything in the dump. You do not know they were there.
Yeah.
I mean, so again, my first year, I'm like, man, clean up on aisle 9 tomorrow morning all day long. And I came the next day, nothing.
Wow.
I mean, I thought somebody came in the middle of the night and stole all the trash. So it was just, it's a beautiful sight for me to see that every year, and our kids love it. I mean, they really look forward to it. So, I appreciate everything y'all do, not just for Russell County, but for all the schools. I mean, this is huge to get people noticed. And I watched our basketball team play the other day. I couldn't get over there to watch them, so I just pulled up and watched them on y'all's Facebook. So it is something that is beautiful for all the schools and all the students. And I appreciate y'all making this happen.
Well, we appreciate you, Coach, just for allowing us to be here at Russell County. The final question to you, Coach, is what's the message to the community? Obviously, Russell County is a tight-knit community, but it also includes Ladonia. It includes Fort Mitchell. It's pretty much the outskirts of Phoenix City, but Russell County has just got a lot of support, a lot of fan base that just loves Russell County athletics. So what's the message to the community out there that how they can support Russell County athletics?
Well, we're definitely not the Russell County that they remember from 4, 5, 6, 10 years ago. We have worked extremely hard, our coaches, our students, our administrators, to make this a better athletic place. And I think, we're not where we want to be, but I think we're headed in the right direction. And we just ask for you to come out and support us. People don't realize what it takes to run a high school athletic program.
Right.
Our game day officials for last year of all of our sports was over $43,000 that we have to come up with out of our gates. That where we sell tickets. I mean, $43,000 just to run a high school basketball night, a JV boys, a varsity girls, and a varsity boys. The officials and clock operator that's required, $840.
Wow.
$840. I mean, so we depend on people being in the seats watching our kids. So, we want you to come. We want you to be a part of it. Just come see us. Come check us out. If you haven't been, come give our kids a chance. I guarantee you it's better than what you're watching on TV at home.
Yeah, that I could speak on behalf of the game day experience is worth the price of admission, just because that atmosphere, it is exciting, and just the way that the cheer and the band, they fire up the crowd, and then when it comes to basketball as well. And I do want to say, I didn't mention this because I wanted to try to, Russell County does mean a lot to me, Coach, just because being the public address announcer in 2021 and then in 2022, getting to call all the home games on Beam, the cable provider here in East Alabama. I know that I'm super excited that we're back and we're going to be live streaming more Russell County games. And I just want to say it's been a privilege being back here. This is what, the third year we've done this, and it just keeps getting better and better. And I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, Coach. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, just a great time to be a fan and just a supporter of Russell County Warriors athletics. That will do it here from Russell County. Another successful episode of Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs. I'm Richard Holdridge saying so long, good night, and we will see you next time on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.